Today we're examining a tragic and complex case from Carrollton, Georgia, involving a teenager accused of killing her own mother and stepfather, and the unusual online activity that followed. This story raises questions about social media, investigative strategy, and how law enforcement approaches violent crime. On February 20th, 2025, deputies in Carroll County were called to a home on Tyus Road after a disturbing discovery. Investigators say Kristen Brock, 41, and James Brock, 45, were found shot dead in their bed at their residence in Carrollton. The home belonged to the Brocks, a couple with 3 children. According to law enforcement statements, there were no signs of forced entry, and nothing significant was reported stolen from the residence. This immediately focused investigators' attention towards someone who had access or was known to the family. The 911 call to report the deaths was placed from the home by Sarah Grace Patrick, who was 16 at the time of the incident. It was her younger half-sister, then 5 years old, who discovered the bodies and alerted her older sibling, prompting the call. First responders found the couple deceased in their bed from apparent gunshot wounds. At that early stage, deputies treated it as a double homicide investigation and began gathering evidence from the scene, interviewing family members, and searching for leads. In the weeks following the discovery, something unusual emerged. A TikTok account, later confirmed by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office to belong to Sarah Grace Patrick, was active and posting emotional content. One of the posts featured an overlay suggesting intense grief, with Patrick saying things like, "If you asked about mom and stepdad, I'd miss them so much." Some posts included text reflecting on the loss and talking about missing future milestones like graduations or weddings. The account also shared comments expressing sorrow, longing for comfort, and seeking prayers for healing. In one clip she captioned it, "They don't know it, but a year from now me and my 5-year-old sister would find them," reflecting on the tragedy. In what would later become one of the most curious aspects of the case, the teenager allegedly reached out to a true crime TikTok creator known as @allegedly reportedly, asking them to look into her parents' deaths and post about the case. Screenshots shared by the influencer show Sarah posting messages like, "Search up Brock case. They're my parents," and thanking the creator for spreading awareness. The influencer later said she found the outreach disturbing in hindsight, given the murder charges that followed. She also reportedly contacted a family friend, encouraging them to speak publicly about the night of February 20th and commenting on posts about the Brocks. In the weeks after the deaths, the teenager participated in public grieving rituals. She spoke at her mother's funeral, delivered emotional tributes, and maintained a visible presence on social media mourning her parents. However, in later interviews and online commentary, observers noted that some of her behavior seemed atypical of grief. This combination of social media activity, public mourning, and outreach to influencers would become part of the context prosecutors referenced as they built their case. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office, assisted by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, conducted a lengthy examination of the evidence. Sheriff's officials told reporters they had gathered mountains of physical and digital evidence linking Sarah to the deaths. Authorities have not publicly released all the details of that evidence, including the murder weapon, but they maintain that the totality of the investigation supports the charges. Over the months following the homicide, detectives meticulously pieced together timelines, digital records, and communication logs that eventually led them to seek an arrest warrant. On July 8th, 2025, a warrant was issued for Sarah Grace Patrick's arrest. The then 17-year-old turned herself in at the Carroll County Jail, accompanied by her father. She was charged as an adult with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and additional charges related to the double homicide. Bond was formally denied during a hearing, reflecting the severity of the allegations and the ongoing nature of the investigation. In late 2025, Patrick's legal team filed motions aiming to change the venue of her trial, citing extensive pre-trial publicity that they argued could make finding an impartial jury difficult. The trial was scheduled to begin January 5, 2026, with prosecutors preparing to present their evidence in Carroll County Superior Court. Her defense has not publicly offered detailed strategy, but family members have publicly expressed belief in her innocence. Her grandfather shared that she maintains she did not commit the crimes attributed to her. The case has drawn widespread attention online and in local communities, sparking debates about social media use by crime victims, the psychology of teen violence, and the challenges of digital evidence. The Brock's youngest child, just 5 years old at the time of the murders, is now growing up without her parents, a fact officials and community members alike have called heartbreaking. Authorities continue to seek information that may relate to the case, and the investigation remains an open matter as the trial unfolds.